All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. You know, I'm gonna come on here this morning, and I'm simply going to tell the truth, and the painful truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Apparently, if you're here on this video, you're going to hear it. You may choose to turn this thing off, but that's your prerogative. You can exercise your right to go to another channel. But I tell you what's utterly amazing is in this country. It started off with white on black crime. Well, now some blacks, both legal and illegal, far as being able to carry guns. Now you see a lot of black on white crime. And then you see the same outrage and the same sentiments coming from both sides. And again, I'm going to speak from both sides here. And the reason why I can do that is because I have white brethren in the ministry. And I have black brethren in the ministry. And I guess that we are probably a few people in this world that just really call things for what it is. You see, there's a lot of anger. There's a lot of bitterness that comes from what you call the African American Negroes. Because we have never, ever had a fair shake in this country, because modern day in school system, modern day food system, I call them public food system, in their federal curriculums that they pass down from every state, they don't tell you the truth about history. As a matter of fact, they do everything they can to skew truth. You see, my people were brutally raped, robbed, murdered, killed, lynched. And they still are getting lynched, raped, robbed, murdered, and killed today. And we are no more than 12% of the population. The indigenous people of the land, that is commonly called the American Indians, and notice the Europeans have this uncanny ability to be able to define people the way that they want to and then write the books as such. They are less than 2% of the population. So do you know what that means? That means that the Europeans who came over here and occupied this land literally murdered, killed, raped, robbed the indigenous people of this land, meaning the people of this land, commonly called the Indians, and they put them on reservations. And this is the painful truth that nobody wants to hear. Well, when they came here, they started making holidays. You know, the majority of the Europeans, as well as the deceived black people in this country, they celebrate a day called Thanksgiving. But the indigenous people of this land call it the National Day of Mourning, because there's nothing to be thankful for. Since over 700 people were slaughtered on that day, and they called it Thanksgiving. Well, also American history skewed again. That guy you call Christopher Columbus, he's never stepped foot on this land. Never stepped foot on this land. But yet and still, they have a holiday that's on the calendar for him. Amazing, isn't it? Well, that is the painful truth. And when you look at it, after we so-called got, quote-unquote, set free by the Emancipation Proclamation, we have never received reparations. Now, check this out. The Jews, the Holocaust took place over in Germany, yet they still get about $11 billion plus a year from the United States of America, and they have Holocaust museums here in this country for what took place over there. What do the blacks get? Nothing. We never got a 40 acres and a mule. And we don't have anything, no museums that I know of that talks about the tragedies of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery. We don't see that. We don't see it at all. And I'm always puzzled at how that we being 10% of the population, how is it that we're responsible for almost 80% of the crime in this country? Black people in this country do not have power, nor are they in any position of power to influence policy, nor are they in any position of power to bring drugs into this country. We just simply don't have the assets to do it. We don't. So what's taking place? That means somebody who is in power is bringing all these things into the neighborhood. And of course, you know, I see clearly what's going on, probably because, you know, I don't take fluoride, neither am I toothpaste either. I do everything I can to make sure that I constantly detox my body from all the harmful substance that is going on. And I drink plenty of water because all the chemical trails that keeps flying all across the sky almost every single day on a daily basis where they're poisoning us. This is just painful truth. Now, my people we're not in a position of privilege in this country. And when you're not in a position of privilege, that means the children who are descendants of the people who had privilege, they're going to continue to keep what? Being above. It would have been fine if they would just came over and said, you know what, we're going to slaughter and kill these people. But to sit down and have peace pipe with them and then cut their throat, man, that you can't get no more devilish than that. This is painful. Now on the other side, flip side. All right. Well, let me finish on for a second. And what that causes a condition to where you feel like that no matter what you do, there's no hope. There's no justice when you go in the court system. There's no justice at the hand of the police or the authorities. There's no justice in the politicians. We're worse off since Obama been in office than we were under Clinton and Bush. These are the things that the people that are my age and a little bit older is not going to teach the younger generation. Well, then you have all these disgruntled black youths today, which there's, no jobs. All the jobs are gone overseas and everything. And now what they're starting to do, you starting to see black on white crime in retaliation for what's going on. Mind you, the whites here in this country, in America, are 70% of the population. Yet my people occupy 70% of the prisons. I call that modern day slavery. There's no justice when we go into their court systems. And some of the things that go on today that just people get thrown in jail for is just utterly amazing. Well, now what's happening is because you got a lot of black people through bitterness, through anger, through envy and jealousy, they are now the youth are retaliating against these injustices. They're more informed than the generation that come in my generation. And they have a whole lot more access to things. And when they start researching history and start seeing exactly what's going on in this world, the Bible even says, surely oppression will make a wise man mad. Myself personally, I don't believe that, even though I know I have enemies, I still do not believe that you should go around and start killing and murdering people, innocent civilians, simply because of things from the past, bitterness or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. You have to deal with people according to their merits today. If we're going to believe that the Most High is going to set this right, then let him set it right, because I believe he is going to set it right. But I don't believe that it's just for black people to go out and to just start killing and murdering and shooting and robbing innocent white people simply because they're white. It's just nonsensical. It don't make sense. And with these psychotropic drugs and everything that's going on today, it's making the whole entire nation mad. And now you got the white people clutching their purses every time you see a black person. There's literally no honor and no respect. You see, I have a different attitude. When I go out here, and I live in Tennessee, I do a lot of business in Kentucky and Tennessee. And, many white people would never know unless you were with me. You never know. And sometimes I tell the brothers or the sisters that are with me, I say, just stand off over here and watch the attitude and watch the spirits of these people right here as I go and try to conduct business with them. Now, I'm not going to say that that's every white person, because every white person is not responsible for the transatlantic slave trade. It's just that today, people don't know how to hold people that are responsible, and so they just paint a broad brush and make everybody bad. I don't believe that. I think everybody should be judged on their own merits. That's what I believe. But what's utterly amazing is that this silent form of racism that takes place continually while they smile in your face and stuff, there's another spirit that's working behind them. It's utterly amazing. And most people will never know what I'm talking about unless you've been truly discriminated against. Well, now we have a bias in the news media, a bad bias. in the news media, to where they are quick to report anytime that there's some type of crimes, be it police or a white person against a black person, or you could be even a Mexican against a black person. It makes no difference. They are out there pushing that agenda very, very hard to enrage and inflame and incite the black people to go out and start tearing up everything so that they can pass more of their stupid laws. And my people just don't understand, the color of the skin. That's what I'm talking about, after the flesh. They don't get it. Then they go out and they start injuring white folks who had nothing to do with it whatsoever at all. I think that is stupid. I think that is heinous. And it just simply does not make any sense. There's a system of corruption out here that's controlling both sides. Well, now you got black folks going around youth, seeing white people and just beating them to death. Just beating them to death. I think that they should be... See, I'm of a different mindset. You people, you have civil morality. And you think that that's justice. I don't think it's justice. I believe in an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. I believe that whatever you do, any type of crime against somebody else, you should have it done to you. Yeah. And then not only that, you should be judged based on the intent of your heart. I mean, I'm talking, Brother Steve is down here, and he's telling me the latest craze that's going on in New York is that, and I'm telling you, New York is a communist socialist state. Why are you people still in there? Why? You can't have a taser. You can't have a knife. You can't have a gun. You can't have crap to defend yourself. But guess what? Criminals don't obey laws. Neither do the police obey laws. So what you got now is you got people going on subways and they're taking knives and just slashing people's faces and running off. That's the latest craze. You see, we're dealing with demons, whether people like it or not, whether they want to admit it or not. And I think it's bad. I really, truly think it's bad that black people have gotten to the point now to where they're committing crimes against innocent civilians who had nothing to do with a lot of things. Now, believe me, don't get me wrong. I know history. I know innocence. I know nation against nation. I know all that. You're preaching to the choir here. You're preaching to the choir. But what I'm getting to is this. You have to be able to discern who's righteous and who's unrighteous. But to set up and say all white people are bad because we are the minority in this country and they are the majority, and we know that the laws are stacked against us, and then to go out and commit evil against someone is just flat out wrong. It's just flat out wrong. Now the news media, if there's a black man that does a crime against anybody that's white, they blame it on guns. Like the gun is the one that actually did the crime. Are y'all seeing this? They never, ever, ever blame the crime on the one that done it. Oh, he's in jail. Then you never hear nothing about it. Then they give you these sob stories about their therapy, what they're going through, and all this other stuff. But again, there's an agenda for the guns. Again, I said it once. I said it 1,000 times. Look, I'll do it again. I will do it again. All right. I have a firearm right here, okay? I'm going to put this firearm down right here on this desk. And I'm going to say, all right, now, gun crime. Watch this. All right, gun, Glock. I want you to jump up off that desk. I want you to shoot me. Let's see if it does it. All right. Come on, gun. I mean, after all, you are responsible for a lot of violent crimes here in America. So get up off that desk and do your job, because after all, you're so evil that you can't help but to just kill and murder people. So start shooting, damn it. Start shooting. Gun violence. They say that you are the reason for violence. Guns. Come on, shoot. In all my years of living, I never have ever seen a gun by itself commit a crime. But what I have seen is people commit crimes. I've got something right here. Now, I'm a little bit more trained than other people. But this is a letter opener. You know how deadly this is? I could take probably, you know what I can take through TSA? and really wreak havoc over a box cutter, you want to know what it is? Look at this. A pen. Somebody that's trained and know what they're doing. This is a very deadly weapon right here. This is. All the damage you can do with this thing right here. I carry them all the time. All the time. Not only do I carry this, but I also carry this. Almost everywhere I go, I carry one of these. And most of you don't even know how to use one of these. You don't know how to use one of these. But I carry one of these right here almost every single where I go. And people go, Pastor, what in the hell? Are you afraid of something? Ask yourself a question. Do I look like I'm afraid of anything? There's not a man on this earth that I'm afraid of. I promise you that. Don't care how big or how small. I believe in personal protection, be you black or white. I think that you should protect yourself against anyone who want to perpetuate any type of evil or injustices against you. But more than anything, I believe that you should educate yourself. You should educate yourself, inform yourself, and never, ever, ever be caught off guard, because you do not get to pick the time, the day, or the hour when evil comes your way. So it's best to always be prepared. And the first order of business in order to be prepared is a ready mind. Your mind constantly at the ready. So whatever I have on me, my wife and I, we're getting ready to go out here today. Sister Carol, yes, are you in there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Sister Carol, when we go out, do you feel safe?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Do you carry a gun too?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now we got 2 guns, so we good to go. Is the gun going to protect us? No, we are going to protect us. We're not going to be the victims of going and sitting in a restaurant and then somebody demon-possessed, be you black or white, is going to come in and start robbing the place and start spraying bullets all over the damn place. I am going to return fire in a very aggressive way. It's either kill or be killed. You choose. But see, I don't take the sentiments of what this politicians and this world is trying to do. They're trying to disarm the American public from those of us who are law-abiding citizens. Law-abiding citizens. And so it's bad. So no, I don't agree when the media is trying to paint the white people as all bad because they are the ones who committing all this crime and everything and stuff. And it's not the black. It's very unfair and it's unbalanced reporting because they're after an agenda. The agenda is to get the guns out of your hands. Sorry. I don't agree with this racism crap in any way, shape, fashion, or form, even though I've had it against me. I was dating a young girl as a young man and stuff, and I went and knocked on the door, and I was met with a pistol right here in my face because I was black. And that man still to this day fortunate that I don't know who he is. I don't. Because it's been so long ago and stuff, but man, I don't know how I would react if I was to see him because a threat on my life? No. I don't take that too kindly. I don't take it kindly at all. And you shouldn't either. But I think more than anything, what I'm saying in this video is be prepared at any given time. Any given time. When you go into a restaurant, if you have to, you position yourself in such a manner to where you can actually see the door. You constantly monitor your surroundings, no matter where you go, because as soon as you step out of the confines of your home, you are in hostile environment. And for you to sit up here and assume that everybody is just or righteous, and when we got all these pedophiles, we got lesbians, homosexuals, you got people alternative lifestyles, you got people that have their own definition of morality, you got witches, you got warlocks, you got demon-possessed people, you got murderers, you got slanderers and killers, and people who just literally off the chain in every aspect of life. They don't share your values. So every time you leave the confines of your home, you are in very hostile environment. And you need to act as such and conduct yourself as such and be prepared and be ready as such. Nothing should take you by surprise. Nothing at all. I'll tell you what, sometime if I'm going to town and I realize that I forgot my gun, you know what I usually do? I'll usually make a U-turn and go all the way back. I don't care if I'm halfway and go back and come back and turn around and pick it up and get it. It's a risk anytime you go out into the public. Because here in America, you got all kind of terrorists, legalized terrorists. You got people who wear uniforms that are terrorists. But they're trying to start a race war. And I don't agree with it whatsoever at all. I agree with your right to be able to defend yourself. Be you white or black, makes no difference to me. And I'm not going to sit up and judge people because you got white skin and call you evil. I know black people just as evil as white. And I know white people is evil. Just as evil as the next person, black or white. I don't play that game. It's stupid. It's nonsensical. But everybody does not inform themselves. I do. Pastor Dow does. So, you know, I'm going to fight against this racist spirit all that I can. It ain't going to have nothing to do with me, none whatsoever at all, nor the people that I preach and teach to. And as far as I'm concerned, you choose to be racist, then to hell with you. That's where you're going to end up at anyway. That's just the truth. And you really going to have trouble when you find out, when you actually choose to pick up that Bible and find out that Jesus was actually black himself, if you're a racist. Ooh-wee, it's going to be ugly. But I know this video is going to stir up a lot of controversy because you're not listening to my words. I'm stating facts, truth, and history. And yet and still, you don't want to hear that. Most of you are led by emotions and feelings, and you can't deal with facts. We may be all entitled to our own opinion, but we're definitely not entitled to our own facts. And that's the problem with many of you. You think your opinion is above all facts, and it's just not so. Prepare yourselves. Keep yourself ready. Protect you and your loved ones. And don't believe the hype that these wicked news media is doing. Don't believe it. Do not believe it. Your best option is to have mutual assistance groups where you surround yourself. You build your own communities where you know who your neighbor is. You know who your brother. You know who your sister is. You know the people who you can trust. That's the best thing for you to do is build your own communities to where you can actually, when you go outside or your children go outside, you know they're protected because the men in that environment have the same sentiments and love for each other. And that's just the truth. And that's just the truth straight way. Well, anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. I'm gone. King coming.